Hello, growers, and welcome to my urban garden. It's that time of year again. It's the time of year where we get a chance to transplant our favorite and most popular crop, the tomato. This year, I'm growing a variety of determinate and indeterminate tomatoes, both cherry and slicers, and I'll just keep you posted on their progress. The first tomato I'm going to be growing is a tomato that I've come to grow multiple times, and that is the Rio Grande tomato by Sow Right Seeds. I have a discount code below for those of you who are interested in Sow Right Seeds. They're running a special right now. I find this determinate tomato to be extremely reliable. It grows anywhere from 2 to 6 ounce slicers, and for Zone 8 gardeners, I succession plant this simply because it is a reliable producer. They make great salsas, they are great for canning, and they also taste good fresh. One of the few tomatoes that's able to can well and taste well good fresh. They also are very good on water and they're pretty heat tolerant. So this year I am going to forego a lot of the larger beefsteaks just because of the water restrictions in our area. But last year, this was one of my most consistent producers, and I will be growing it again. Check out Sow Right Seeds because they literally have a variety of different tomatoes of sizes and colors and shapes. Another tomato that I'll be growing is this dwarfing style tomato. It's the Alcufa from Victory Seeds here in Hawthorne, Texas, I believe. I decided to just grow more of the Iraqi heirloom varieties simply because they're a lot more heat tolerant, a little bit more drought resistant. And I just think that the watering restrictions in our area could make gardening really challenging. But Victory Seeds has really come through with introducing large varieties of tomatoes that can withstand the Texas heat and the water restrictions we're facing here in Central Texas. Another Iraqi heirloom variety that I'll also be growing is the Abu Rawan. Now, I've heard great things about this tomato. I grew it last year and it was a great producer. Another determinate tomato. And this year, I'm going to be running a little experiment where I'm going to be propagating this tomato. And I know that determinate tomatoes typically don't have like suckers that you can regrow, but I just am going to give it a try just to see what happens so I can get an early jump start on possibly succession planting these determinate tomatoes. So because I'm growing so many determinate small slicers and a determinate plum in the Alcufa, I've decided to forego growing a lot of cherry tomatoes this year. Even though cherry tomatoes do produce for me into the fall, I'm just going to possibly succession plant my small slicers and then just keep the cherry tomato for as long as it survives. The one cherry tomato I am going to be growing is the Brad's Yellow Pear. It just grows really well. It's very, very drought and heat tolerant. It will produce for me a lot better than some of the other yellow tomatoes or yellow cherry tomatoes. And I just have had a lot of success with it. I can either slice them in half, eat them while in the garden. I just have had a lot of success and happiness with the Brad's Yellow Pear indeterminate cherry tomato. Now, I'm not growing a lot of big slicers or beefsteaks, but I do plan on growing a Cherokee Purple. Now, I always have to succession plant the Cherokee Purples because I may only get 2 to 3, or maybe if I'm lucky, 5 tomatoes per bush each year, simply because it's not a big producer for me in my particular zone. I am going to be working towards how I can keep this tomato fertile and well-loved and protected. But it's just that in these hot, dry times, this tomato doesn't produce as well for me, but I still do enjoy it. I am going to continue to feed all of my tomatoes, including my Cherokee Purple. I like to use some of the fish fertilizer when transplanting and right before they fruit and flower. And when I put them in the ground initially, I'll put them to good slow release, which is Job's Organic. I just feel that that results in a lot less burn in our intense weather. So again, I'm zone 8 here in Central Texas, and these are the things that work well for me. So put in the comment sections below the tomatoes that you'll be growing, which ones are easy producers and which ones are labors of love, which ones are set it and forget it, and which ones take a little bit more sacrifice, and which ones are worth that sacrifice. I'd love to hear your comment and your feedback below. So I just wish you good luck growing. And here at My Urban Garden, no matter how much space, we believe that there's always room to grow. See you in the next video.